Hello, all. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Blac Chyna. That is the talk of every industry right now. So, we are going to be talking about her actually all month. So, whatever celebrity or topic we choose to talk about, because things are so diverse, you can break it down into so many different layers. And so, for tonight, we're going to be talking about how exactly it comes about or how difficult it is for a woman to actually just become herself and what that looks like. So, I am Melanin Madam. We are rolling out the red carpet to you. Make sure that you speak when you enter and always respect our home. And then I'll have my brother introduce himself.
What's going on, y'all? We back again, like we are every Thursday. Famous homie. Talk about Blac Chyna and talk about the celebrity drama. Not drama, but things is going on. Things that need to be talked about. So make sure y'all go hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure y'all go follow your boy on Instagram. The famous
Period.
homie. Go.
Period. It's actually in our tag. So mine is just Madam, but of course it's Melanin Madam. And make sure that you subscribe and share. And then also, I didn't cut it off this week, but going forward, I'm going to be cutting off Facebook. So the updates will go there, but nothing else because we are migrating over to YouTube only. So my first question is, and we have the questions up. So in honor of Blac Chyna and what she's trying to do, because I really just don't like to wear makeup, I didn't wear any. I just put on lip gloss because I couldn't have ashy lips and I just ran up the shower. So that's my caveat. So I will start tonight with you are up to date on everything that has recently come out about her from the perspective of why she decided to go back to being or actually become Angela because she's not that old and she entered the industry fairly young, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So first, would you agree that at that particular age, you're actually trying to find yourself in a world where social media for that particular age group was just popping? I think Kim had just came out at that time. And so when you live in a struggle life, especially, that's quite intriguing to become whomever it is that you need to be to survive, I would say.
Facts.
You
Facts.
know, I
Yeah.
think so too. So what do you think that looked like then versus what she is trying to do now?
I mean, then, she's a young, trying to we're all trying to figure out ourselves at 18, 19 when you graduate high school. Nobody really knows who they are. You have to go through life experience and you're trying to figure out yourself, figure out what path you're going on. She probably worked a couple jobs, took a couple college courses and just, she saw an opportunity and, regardless of what people may think, who could be mad at her for taking that opportunity? You know what I'm saying? To, infiltrate the Kardashians the way she did, have a baby and, kind of get her popularity and her social media presence up being a person that bear the child of a Kardashian. So who could be mad at her for trying to take that lane? So she did what she had to do then, but also fast forward to now, like you said, um and like I said, I don't judge people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're doing OnlyFans or whatever it is. I'm not judging you. You know what I'm saying? But she chose to go down a different path now. You know what I mean? She has apparently found herself and found what works for her. And
Mhm.
me as a black man, I'm proud of her being able to find herself. You know what I mean? And she feels happy. She looked like she's happy doing it. She looked like she found direction she wants to go post celebrity and she looked like she found something that she's really 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 passionate about. So I can't be mad at the choice at all. Like I actually commend her for doing that and then going public with it too, because the ridicule is coming for sure. The ridicule, the judgment, the gossip blogs, the sites, everybody got something to say about it. Everybody gonna judge her and oh, she got her money already, she got plenty of money from OnlyFans, now she want to retire. Like I know I've read a lot of stuff that people said and a lot of negativity, but for me, I'm not bringing none of that negativity to her. I applaud her.
I say the same thing. So I feel like that's a part of the problem, right? So we say that about people that you know from the neighborhood that maybe chose the path of selling things, that chose the path of stripping, while you're trying to go to school, all of those things. And first, if that's you and it's legal and not hurting you, then it's you. No
Right.
judgment, like we said. But if that is truly why you went in, then I think that that's what you should stick to, because your passion is what made you do that thing that first, for some, took a while to develop the courage to even jump into that space because that's just not who you were, right? But then people get into that space and they make the money that they need to get out and they don't get out. And then all these other things happen because that wasn't their path. It takes a lot to do it. Some get into drugs, some lose their mind, some, if it's illegal, you go to jail. Because I think, I don't know why I think this way, and don't judge me for thinking this way, but I think that when some people are put into a space, especially how they grew up, and it's a sink or swim for real, this how I have to eat, and they make decisions again that aren't the best, but it's not hurting anybody else. I believe, well, first he forgives all of us, but I believe he extends a certain amount of grace to even cover them when they're doing those things. But you
Right.
got to exit out, if that makes sense. So you
Yes.
deserve to find yourself. Why wouldn't you do those things? She's a mom now. What if she cares about that more than this? People would judge her like they're doing Kim if your daughter's standing next to you doing all of this stuff. But she got out of it. She didn't choose to stay with a Kardashian. That's not where her heart was. So if she's making the right choices, why won't we let her be Angela? We don't know who Angela is,
Right. Let's get to
you
know
know?
Angela. Why not? Let's get to know Angela. Let's go ahead and get to know Angela White, right? Angela White. Let's get to know her. Let's give her a chance. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she chose to go down a different path. Like, let's go ahead and give her a chance. I want to see what this looks like. I want to see what she does from here. I want to see what she obviously has to maintain her lifestyle or even just survive. So I want to see what she does. What else? What other talent she has? Who knows? She might have to have some other talents that she can capitalize off of now that she has a name to go ahead and maintain her lifestyle and to take care of her child. Like, let's give her a chance. Let's see who Angela White is. Let's do that.
First, I think that it's really sad that I noticed in the comments that most of the people that was saying stuff was saying, she's doing it for clout, she's doing it for this, she's doing it for that. Well, that's part of your platform. And we talk about that a lot. That when you build the platform for so many people to follow you, that it's your responsibility to be responsible with that platform. So why wouldn't she tell people? And when you're in an industry, some people with no sense continue to walk off their job into their later years, but that's essentially walking away from her job. So if she's walking away from that space, she also owes it to those people to say, I'm no longer doing this. And she actually didn't need to say the reason why, but you do announce those things. So doing it for clout or responsibly using her platform and encouraging others to do, you might be inspiring somebody. She didn't say nothing about nobody else. She not mess talking nobody. She not putting nobody down. She not all of a sudden holier than now. She not doing none of that. She's literally just sharing the different things that are happening and why she did them and what makes that bad. But it's always our people. I know it's a lot of Black females were the ones that were saying stuff. And it's like, really, why would you say something like that, knowing that no shade to nobody, but if you could have did what she did to get where she got, you would have did the same thing. You would have absolutely did it. If you knew that it was going to end, you would have did it. Stop playing. Now,
Right.
whether you sleep with people, I don't know, but
Right.
you would have done it. If you could sit behind a camera and do something like that, you really would. I'm just saying. Don't nobody is people breastfeeding and showing their titty and nipple and everything else everywhere. But oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Well, she showed her body as art, if that's what she did. I don't know what she did on the platform, but you wasn't interacting with the people. They wasn't coming over and touching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never give people, it's very seldom that we allow people to be. And that is why so many Black women are struggling to be heard, and so many seen, and Black men are struggling to be heard. We don't allow it.
And the crazy part about it is, on her interview, if people watch it, what I mean, she says what she's doing, but she says clearly, if you got to do that OnlyFans shit, do it. She says that. She says that in the same interview. Like, I'm not judging y'all for what y'all got to do. I'm just making the choice to step away. And I feel that I don't know this woman, personally, but I do know the pastor that did baptize her, that went viral. You know what I mean? I found out it's a pastor that I used to go to his church,
Oh, okay.
14, 13 years ago, and he's one of the greatest men that I've ever met. Like he's
Okay.
definitely his whole family. The whole family is a great family. It's a great church. He's a genuine spirit. Pastor James, he's a dope man. So I feel like if she connected with Pastor James, she got to be serious and genuine about what she's doing. So, you know what I mean? I wish people would just stop the judgment and look at the details, especially when I found out it was Pastor James that did it, and the video's old, so Pastor James not looking for no recognition from it. You know what I mean? And I felt her linking up with him like that's amazing. Like I feel that it's something genuine that Angela White's trying to do, and let the girl turn over a new leaf. Like let her do it, man. Let her live.
No, we don't want to let people live. It's our intention was to actually talk about some things that Black people should be held accountable for in the month of February for Black history. However, we weren't able to do so because I lost Chanel early in the month and my mind just wasn't there. And I don't think it'll ever be the same, but that was way too sensitive a topic for me to talk about at that time. However, in June, we're going to circle back around for Juneteenth because until we hold each other accountable, nothing is going to get better because every time something happens, they are trying to hold us down. Who exactly is they? Because the they is usually the people in your household. The they is usually your friends. The they is actually usually the people in your own head because you're watching all of these things and you're knowing that if this happened to that person, then the likelihood of it happening to me is great. We are our biggest fear, and rightfully so, because it's just not okay. You would think that anything that a Black person was trying to do, anybody, but a Black person specifically, was trying to do to be better, especially laying down money. I'm just saying, she didn't have to stop OnlyFans.
No.
She could have easily did what she wanted to on the slide. She didn't go to Kanye as a as a church. She didn't go to Pastor Joel. I personally love him. She didn't go to a big mogul. She went to whom she wanted to go to, and that speaks volumes on its own. Pay attention to the things that people are doing before you feel like you have to be the first comment on TMZ when it comes out, because TMZ has no chill, none. And how you talk is, I'm going to always go back to, if I'm sitting here talking to Ron and my kid is in the next room, do you think that my kid is going to think that what I'm saying is exempt if it applies to them? They're not. I'm telling them how I feel. So they're listening to it and they're soaking that up. And you wondering, well, where did they get it from? And they never going to really have the courage to tell you, especially if you're a mom. Oh, mom, I heard you say it. Oh, mom, I got it from you. Because God forbid you address a Black woman as a mother. You can't do that. How dare you? It's unheard of as well.
Man.
I think that's not okay. As a woman who started my channel because I wanted to be seen, right? That was the whole basis behind me starting my channel, so that I could be Asian. I had to learn to be Asian. It's not something that's afforded because you have all these titles as a woman, period. Then you have the titles as a Black woman. And then if people put you on a pedestal and start to depend on you, now they pushed you into a position that you don't ever get to sit down and say, I wonder if I even like this food, or do I just cook it because my family loves it so much and I love to hear that they love it and I'm okay with eating it. How many things do we as a people do because it's like, oh, I'm okay with that, or I need that because everybody got it and then that's going to mean I'm somebody. What things do you really just do because you want to?
Right.
That's not fair.
Right. No, it's not.
That's not fair.
Not at
And
all.
if you think about things like the comment that you made earlier, what do you feel about that comment that, oh, now she got her money and so she's out?
Me, and I personally feel so. Like, I mean, to me, this is what I'm related back to. So this is a lot of, and I don't want to bust on a Christian, so y'all don't get mad when I speak this truth. But it's a lot of people that they live life how they want to, and this is talking in the Christian world, in the Christian church,
And then
and
they get old.
they get saved at about 50, and then they born again, and they ain't cussing no more, they ain't drinking, they ain't smoking, they ain't fornicating, they ain't doing all the stuff you ain't supposed to technically do as a Christian. And then they want to look down on the youth and look and turn their nose up at everybody who's 21 and 25 and 28. It's like, motherfucker, what was you doing at 21 and 25 and
That
28? What were you
part.
doing at 49 right before you got married? Oh,
It's
did
out
you
of
not,
your system.
you know what I'm saying? Didn't you just rush into that marriage just so you can have sex? Let's talk about that. Like, come on, like,
Or get out your parents' house.
you feel me? Like, stop. Like, a lot of people do that. Like, so what if she got her bread? Like, she's still alive, right? God, in the word, you know what I'm saying? It say God forgive you 7 times, 77 times, 7 times, 77 times per day or something like that. I could be misquoting that, but I know it's something of that nature.
It's tremendous.
So, yeah, it's a tremendous amount of time. So if she got her bread and she's still alive and well to talk about it, God has given her that opportunity. She has the right to take that opportunity. So what if she got her bread and she out? So what? That's just
What was
like,
he supposed to do?
you know what I'm saying? And I love Jay-Z, but you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is one of my favorite, rappers / businessmen. But if you're a Jay-Z fan, you know that he started his company with drug money. He talks about it all the time. This ain't snitching. He talks about it all the time. So he got his bread and he
Most of
got
them
out.
did.
He
Most
got
of them
out.
did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? What is the difference?
This is why. So this is why we have so many young Black men, okay, that don't leave because they are a slave to the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So how? You like that now? Oh, you brand new. Oh, you changed. How come you won't do this dog fight?
Right.
Oh, but then when you go to jail and then you stupid and all this other stuff, but
Right.
it's because you didn't. Who the hell promotes at a? Do you promote at your job and continue to fax? If you get promoted to president, do you continue to go out and sit on the floor and take calls or go check somebody out at the check stand?
No.
Or do you go do your job? You go do what you have elevated to and reach back, but you go and do what you need to. That's number one. Number two, I love your point because I was thinking about that too. Is her decision at this time speak? It just, I don't think it's enough standing applause for her, or like standing ovation. I don't understand. She's in a position where she doesn't have to. She could easily keep her kids away from social media and then wait until they're old enough, like some people do. And then you want to sit there and cry, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I just was trying to survive. No, you wasn't. You was being selfish at that point, or you was making a decision. Whatever it is, tell the truth. But you don't own your shit. And to your point, she's doing it young. She didn't have to do it young. She could have waited until she was in her 40s and 50s when it's really just out of her system and she ain't in that league no more. And then pretend like, to me, it speaks more highly right now because she didn't have to.
She didn't have to. She
I
still
just don't understand.
She still could make a bag every 5, 10,
I
20,
don't
30,000
understand.
on that shit. She's still right there. She can do it. She made the decision to stop in the smack dab middle of her prime years as far as her physical appearance and being young like that. She still has the ability to, and she stopped. So I could, like you said, I commend her even more because you stopped in the middle of the gold rush.
She's a goat. Ain't nobody even coming up behind her and what she does. She's the goat. So how? How? Her kids is set. They're each by somebody that is also set. Plus, I'm pretty sure she made good financial decisions. Plus, we saw, if those of you that have seen the show with her mother on it, her mother has actually said bad things about her stepping out. But if you saw the show, once I saw the show, my perception of her actually made me watch her. So I didn't really have one at the beginning because again, I don't judge people and I didn't know her like that. But I was flipping through the channels and I flipped by it and I just saw, I thought it was her. And I was like, oh, that's what she looks like with no makeup. And then I saw how her mom was talking to her in her own house. And I saw how humble, respectful. She wasn't like talking back to her mom the same way. And I was like, damn, if it's been like this her whole life, and now you got the money, you got the permit, you could put her out. I never saw her put her out. Eventually, she probably did. I don't know. I would have, but I didn't see that. And I was like, you got cameras in your house coming to film you and what your life is like, and your mom is showing her ass every chance she get, and you not even flashing back. But to me, it was like that show opened up a different perspective for her, because it's one thing when you know it, another thing when you see it. And I think it was, I don't want this for my daughter. I don't want her to even feel like she has to do this. So let me take my money where it is. I'm at the height. Let me bounce now, make the best of my money, make good decisions. I'm pretty sure everything's paid off. My kids are good. And now I can create old money. This is, she's getting to live the life that we all wish that we was born into, because she gave it to herself and is okay. I'm pretty sure she thought about her finances. I just don't see that. Think a lot of people would have did that, because they would have wanted more and more and more. She's
It's like
fine.
she was a smart, like I kind of relate her to, what if Freeway Rick was smart, or Bumpy Johnson. These old drug dealers who had it all, who had all the bread, and they really got out after making a certain amount, like, and they could have avoided the jail time and all that other stuff. I feel that she's doing that, and it kind of makes sense. I've been in a couple events, you know, some Hollywood events where I covered for the media, where Blac Chyna was there, and each time it was like she was like a ghost. She got in and did what she had to do, and she was out of there. And us at the time, we like, damn, why'd she leave? Like, we didn't even get a chance to interview her. Like, dang, she got up out of here quick. It was 2 or 3 events where I've been with her, and she was in and out. So it makes sense her pulling this. Like, she probably was like, this industry, damn this industry, like, I'm ready to do something else. You know what I mean? So she, just because she was smart, got her coins, and then said, you know what, enough. Enough is enough. When is it gonna be enough? Like, you get addicted to that type of bread, you get addicted to that type of money. This is kind of related, but the series, I don't know if y'all saw this series. It's called Breaking Bad. But you know, it's a real quick, a chemist who has cancer and he's dying, so he's trying to make money for his family, and he starts to create and sell meth so he could leave money for his family. So at the end of the show, you know, he has something like $80 million in the in a storage, and his wife has been trying to convince him to walk away. So she finally took him there. He wasn't aware how much money he had, and she took him there and she told him, walk. When is enough money enough, bro? Look at what you got. When is enough enough? So if we start recognizing when enough is enough and be more like Blac Chyna and take her stance, a lot of us can avoid jail time or trouble or all type of different shit that we go through when we get this money in the ways that we're obviously not proud of. So, you know, I can't say enough about the courage and the courageousness she has to display to be on public and go ahead and make that move.
Have you seen that show where Remy Ma is the commentator, and it's about different women that have done things fraudulently, various things? What is the name of that show called? They've done different things fraudulently and they didn't get out soon enough. And so they eventually got caught and went to jail, but super smart. I'm trying to think of the name of that. Hold on. I think that it's one thing I think it just becomes like a drug. I think that people really start to tell themselves, I need this to survive, because they never leave that true crime. My true crime. They never leave that survive mentality, because just like the people that trap queens, that's one too. She does that one too. I think that they never. Okay, so when I get a promotion at work, when I get a raise every year, I'm always 2 years behind. That way, if something happens, I've saved that money over the years. So whatever I got from that year, I truly got it. and I don't go and buy a new car. I don't upgrade my lifestyle because I feel like if you keep staying with that, you'll never be able to live that life you said you wanted to live. And I've always said, I want to be comfortable, I want to have security, and I want to create security for my future. But I don't want to be a victim or a slave to actually working like that and hustling. Otherwise, there was no point in me going to college. I didn't go to be a doctor or a lawyer for a reason. People don't, they're so into things that they just become a slave, and no other, well, other races do it, but they have old money. So if they going to buy Versace or something like that, and a lot of times Versace is giving them that shit, they're not buying it. We're spending our real money to the point where we literally become a slave to, if everybody knows me for getting a Chanel bag and a new one come out, I feel pressure to get that Chanel bag because people so used to me getting it. And oh my God, what am I going to say if I don't have it? I didn't want it.
Right.
Like, I think that's insane how much we are still in slavery mindset. We are still in, and within our own community, not in corporate. I'm literally just talking about in our own community. And it's the people around us that say the things that they say that make us feel like that. Living beyond their means completely, bro. When I bought my car, it was, oh, I thought you would have got this. I didn't even tell nobody that I bought a car. So when they saw it just because some of the stuff be fake, bro, but you'll be surprised at how much is not fake. And even for the stuff that's fake, you're paying at least half. So you're still paying more than you should. Either way is what you shouldn't be doing, because you're trying to keep up this image, and that image, it has you mentally enslaved, financially enslaved. It has become your God.
Yeah.
It has, and then where do you put that much energy into your family, into the college education your child will have? Or why don't you focus on putting them into private school if that's something you want to do? But, oh, you don't have money for that type of shit, though. You don't have money for that. There's plenty of people that make a lot of money, males, that you behind in child support. How? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like how? You're not giving her that, but you'll go give it over here. You'll go trick it on the girl you're trying to pull with your money, and then wonder why she wants you for your money.
That comes down to priorities. I mean, if you prioritize, getting your piece wet or going to go get it this or going to go get that, that's all priorities. Like, you complain about child support, but you got 3 chains on your neck that probably cost you $1,500 each, real or not. You complain about you got a closet full of $400 J's, 20, 30 pair of J's. If you do the math, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the smartest man in the world, but let's
put a down payment on a house.
You feel me? 20 J's that cost $300 each. If I'm not mistaken, that's like 6 bands. So it's like, it all comes down to prioritizing. I mean, in trying to,
and ego.
Yeah, exactly. In trying to be something that we're not. Like, a lot of us are posers. A lot of us go ahead and we pose. We try to copy the next person and try to keep up with this person and try to make it seem like we're this to get a certain thing. And I think that's what it comes down to is people don't have no identity. They don't have their own identity. They use TV, social media, and other things to measure themselves, when you should, the only measuring stick for yourself should be the motherfucker that you staring at in the mirror every day when you get in the shower. Hopefully you washing your ass every day and you staring at that nigga in the mirror. You feel?
Oh my gosh, he cut out. See what happened? Oh, there he goes. I was actually, that goes back to simply what this show is about for this week, and us just saying, when you sit down and think about it, do you realize how hard it is to become? That's it. To become yourself. It's so many people. I'm woke. I'm this. Are you woke because that's what bitch you trying to fucking saying? Are you woke because that's what's cool right now? Are you woke? Because it's plenty of people that's been woke before they said they've been woke. And now you want a label on it. You want to wear this outfit. You want to tell this person not to straighten their hair. Worry about what's going on in your own front yard and whatever that means to you, and stop putting other people down. Yes. He'll join anytime we ask him to. So Ro is asking you to join with us Wednesday at 8. Um, I tell you, y'all can't have my brother. But I wonder what was so okay. So this probably gonna hit some nerves, but of the men that I've been hearing or seeing and hearing say stuff, the first thing I thought was all of y'all that's been in Kim's Kardashian's twat ain't managed to make it out alive. But this girl made it all the way through, broke up with a nigga, kept going, and then got saved and everything else. So she made it to the
Damn. She did that.
So once again, a woman is the trailblazer, and not that a man can't be, but let's just go back. That ego is a motherfucker. Man. That ego is going to take our Black men out. And it's going to take you out by somebody that don't even look like you, because you so mad at your mama that you're going to take everything out on us. And if we say go right, you going to go left, simply because your ego, your pride, and all of that is telling you not to do it. But how is she to own? She was the one that was the lowest of the low and was nobody, and everybody else was an amazing man and all of this shit.
Right.
How's she the one that made it out?
Damn.
And didn't give a damn what nobody said, didn't take nobody's shit, didn't have to do nothing.
Damn. Yeah. You just struck a nerve on that one.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Because we're better together and we're stronger together. Not that the only woman that you can date is a Black woman. I am saying it is far too many men right now that talk like about us like we are dogs. It is nobody else talking about their race the way that Black women are being demeaned on a level that is beyond ridiculous right now. And they got daughters, they got mothers, your fat toothless mama. But you talking about everybody that's Black, and I love your fat toothless mama. See, there's the difference. That's my favorite auntie. That's my mama. That's my grandma. I'm saying, how is it that you talking about all of these women that if you feel a certain way about them, why is it that you can't just sit down and say how you truly feel? Because you know that then you would also have to deal with, I will gladly do that for you. This is what I need you to do for me.
Right.
Because the male is the covering and we've been left completely open. So I don't know who thought that in an effort to become ourselves, we weren't going to become ourselves. We've never not been strong. We've always been next to you, right? All the way back to slavery. So what the hell made you think we couldn't do it?
Right.
And now some more shit is about to start, because the reality is, whether these women want to say it out loud or not, I believe that Michelle K, when she took out her stuff, because it was medical, people could kind of say, something back and forth. But Blac Chyna, literally, it was boom, like, there's somebody walking up there. Like, boom, you don't have a reason. You know what? Let me do something. You don't have a reason, but you literally we have to take your word for face value, because you literally did this because of the reason you said you did it. Because it's not because you wanted a man.
Right.
Because we don't do nothing without, it being a man. You're not competing with another woman. You're actually the first one to do, they went in the back, to do it in that manner. I'm about to shoot your mind dress. I didn't do that. But sorry, you guys. That was a little bit of an emergency, speaking in code a little bit. But remember, you're in my home. But yes, you literally can't do anything. So at the end of the day, you still didn't even want to give her respect that she was due. Show your daughter, show your sister. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to do none of that. You didn't even let her have that. Why? What would that have taken away from you, Black men? What would that have taken away from you, Black woman? What?
It's all one word. It's accountability. Accountability. You know, no one wants to hold themselves accountable. Like I don't know how many times I got to keep saying this, you know, about the finger pointing. You know, always want to highlight men. Always want to highlight, well, this is some of the shit I hear. Or these, and this is not how I talk. I'm just gonna say how I hear it. Well, these bitches be woo 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 woo, and these bitches be woo 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 woo. Like it's always pointed towards that. It's like, okay, man, put that finger down, all right, and go ahead and think about some shit.
Right.
And it's like, and the women, you know, it's these niggas ain't this, these niggas ain't that, or these niggas. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Or I did it because, or I had to.
Yeah, trying to
start crying.
Rationalize your thought process or your actions, and at the end of the day, we got to hold ourselves accountable, and it's for some reason that's so hard for a lot of people to do. It's so hard for you to look in that mirror and tell yourself that you full of shit and you need to straighten up in that subject.
Like, could you say that again? You full of what?
You full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, you are full of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell yourself that sometimes you full of shit. And you got to do that to yourself sometimes. If you want to get better now, if we want to stay stuck where we at, then okay, continue to do that. But we have tried all the same tactics forever.
Come on.
Where has it gotten us?
Come on. So what's the worst that it could hurt? Because it clearly this ain't working. So if this ain't working, let me try it this way. I need people to understand. I don't know if it's because I took emotional intelligence classes in college. I don't know if it's because I was HR and because I'm the underdog in a lot of areas. It made me pay attention so nobody else ever got treated like that versus treating people like that. I don't know what the reason, but peel all that away because I've been getting some interesting messages. Peel all that away and give me my credit for arriving to where I arrived. I arrived there though because at the end, the beginning, the middle, in my dreams, I want to be a good person. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. The only way that was going to happen is for me to sit back and accept feedback, ask for feedback, accept it, take a look at some things, maybe see how other people did it. I really did, because in my head, if I'm doing it this way, and that's what I'm intending, why is that not reaching the way I wanted to reach? Why is this happening? And it could be anything. And it was very small things that were loud to other people. And so they were loud to me too. Because at the end of the day, my question was, how come this isn't coming out how I'm doing it? I speak from love. I do this. I'm trying my best. Okay, well, that's not good enough. And since I keep running into this wall, I'd rather float. So how can I float? I don't want to keep running into the wall until you get it. I hate it when people say that. You just not getting
it. You're just not getting what? Like,
because you asked me and I told you, and then you telling me I'm not getting it. See, that's where do you want my opinion or not? Because you still keep trying to see how you can make other people do it your way.
Right.
That's not the answer, brother. And sometimes the answer is, oh, I see it my way and you see it yours, but I can see why. Okay, that makes sense. Right. Okay, I get it. Okay. That still doesn't mean I'm wrong. Two things can exist. You can have really tried your best with all your heart. We only know what we're taught. We only know what to be the truth, what to be right, what to be good practices. And here's the other thing. A lot of times we taught, if what I can do isn't good enough, then I'm not the person for you. If what I'm doing is not good enough, maybe you need another teacher. No, maybe you need another goddamn teaching method, because you just taught the whole class. And if this one person needs you to sit your ass down and tell them a different way, we learn in school 5 different ways to teach something, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't pay attention? Maybe they need a song, but like you that cocky?
Right.
Because I've been doing this for such and such years. Every other bitch I've been with like it. If every other bitch you've been with like it, why you didn't marry her?
You ain't with
married?
Right. Exactly.
No, they sugarcoated the shit, which now has escalated to me having the worst damn problem, because I get along with all of my exes, so I'm amazing. The only way that can be true, okay, is if you're a true courter. If you court people and y'all decide, oh, it don't work out, and you truly move on. If
Right.
that's your story, then yes, that could be true. If you
But
got stories about razor blades, tires cut, you crying, yeah, that's not true.
right.
Something went wrong. Something went wrong.
Something definitely went wrong. And it's we can't hold these different excuses and reasons and try to rationalize things because it's too much information out there now. Like if you don't if you only know what you're taught, as you get older, you have to be a person that seeks information,
Come on,
that seeks wisdom, that seeks a better way, because
come
there is
on.
a better way out there. You just have to look for it. And there's so much information nowadays. Like, remember
On
back in
these
the day,
$52 million phones we have,
you
how
feel me?
about you get on
Like,
there instead of TMZ?
you remember we used to have to go to the library to look up some shit, the public
Man,
library,
listen.
to look
And I
for a
still
book.
did it then. I loved it. Like that was my
Come on.
favorite thing to do.
You feel me? It was fun. Like, it was good going to the library, but a lot of people didn't have that patience to go to the library to
No,
look for a book or something
no.
that's going to relate to what they're looking for. Now you ain't even gotta get out of bed. You could roll over and press your Google Chrome button and type in what the fuck you want to know. Like,
Literally. Do
literally.
you know,
Like,
I had to teach somebody that. They was like, Asia, how do you know all of this stuff? And I was like, I don't. I was like, I'll look up information. If I have a question, I'll look it up. I'm not one of those people that go to Facebook and write it unless I really just want to have a conversation. But I want to read about it. I want to know. So I go to the source and they like, well, how do you even know what to look for? And I'm like, well, the internet, I said, I type in my question. Well, how do you know what words to use? I don't. I literally type in like how I'm thinking about it, even if it's spelled wrong. And I said the algorithm, I said the keywords behind it. I said, what do you think those hashtags are that you use? And they was like, oh, so that people could find my videos, find information, right? And they was like, oh my God, I could not believe this. I thought I was, and this is not a dig. It's okay to ask questions as an adult. We
yes.
don't know everything, especially when you're starting a business or become a parent or get married. I can't tell you how much shit I Google in marriage from different cultures, everything. I literally could type it in exactly the way I'm thinking it, and it will pull up all of these videos, answers, books,
Absolutely.
what else? Classes from young age to, and people literally write them. So some people, let's just say you write something on Instagram, right? And you teaching about it. If you have that in your hashtags or your keywords, your SEO behind the scenes is pulling it.
Right.
That's how some people get so many pulls, because it's also pulling from Google. It's also pulling from Facebook. Saying all that to say, my brother is right. It's right. Why do you think our phones are so expensive? They're more than a computer.
Right.
They're
More than
more.
That's facts. More than a laptop. You can go get your new iPhone 13 or Google Android, whatever you choose. That motherfucker gonna be about $1,300. You gonna get a Chrome for $200. You gonna get a
Here,
MacBook for $500. Like, the phones cost more because
it's a life GPS.
it's a live GPS. Anything, you can't be ignorant to anything nowadays. Like, you literally, if you want to know something, you don't even have to type. Let's take it. They have a voice text now. You could
That part.
talk it. Hey Google, how do I become a better man, or how do I become well knowledge in how to be whatever you want to, you could literally talk it in, and it's gonna bring up 1,000 pages of different things, facts, and different perspectives about stuff. Yep.
Pick me. Pick me.
Oh, exactly. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So let me tell. Let me tell you what happened this week. No fucking lie. So every conversation that I've been having, I've been going into Facebook this week. Audible has pulled up. I had a book about marriage. I had a book about Spanish. I had a book about, it was everything I said, because our phone has microphones. Now Audible has tapped into our damn phones. So if you actually pay attention while you scrolling, stop and look at Audible. Now that's the prop. Y'all not looking. take a look at some of this stuff because it's popping up for a reason. It's popping up because you said something, you look for something, but the books popped up, brother. And I looked because I always look to see like what I could get for the kids or myself. But I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this literally is everything that I did this week. And it popped up in now Audible does it. So artificial intelligence is really, that's what it's supposed to be used for. I like it for that stuff. I don't like it for the lazy stuff because people going to lose their jobs. Or quick plug, y'all better start picking up a craft because everybody ain't no business owner. This shit is hard. It's not easy. It's not. I quit 5 times today. It's I had to move locations to simply record. You have hard days because you don't get time off.
Right.
You don't. It's hard. So if your life consists of a 9 to 5, if your job life consists of being a teacher, so you can have summer off with your kids, being a doctor, whatever it is, y'all might want to start looking into other stuff because AI is taking over. And what that is artificial. That thing, that machine that you push and that how you can tap your card that quick, that's taking a person's job. Yeah. And so if you're not the person that could do the things behind that to build it, you're going to be stuck in a couple years. So I'm just saying, because I was around during the transition of people not wanting to move to a computer. They wanted to see on a typewriter and they didn't want to use the internet. They wanted to use a book and they didn't want to use the notes that you typed into the computer. I literally had CSRs writing them down first, wait till the call is over and type them in. And you like, if you don't hurry up, we fired a lot of people. It was a lot of turnover. We're coming to that same stage. Start paying attention. And Blac Chyna is paying attention. I don't care. The market is getting younger. The market is turning over people a lot faster. Even Candy was just talking about that, like how music before you could put out an album, they go on tour, they had events, all of that, and then an album. Now it's like, well, when's the next song? I just gave you a whole album yesterday. But things are just moving so fast. You got to move fast. And to me, we're going to dig into that later, but becoming yourself is where you find out where your strength is because those are your callings. That's what God is telling you to do. That's the definition of doing what you have to do until you could do what you want to do.
100%.
I wanted to go to college, but I wanted to be in HR at first, but once I got in it and saw how racist it was, how the colorism, just everything that it was against. Mm-hmm. Oh God. The stories I could tell about that. I couldn't wait to get out. But that's one of those things that once you get into, people are scared to have in other roles because you know the laws, you know this, you know that. It took me 13 years to get out after I didn't want to do it anymore.
Damn.
So you have to do what you have to do. But while you in it, what can you get out of it while you in it?
Right.
You know, and it seems like that's what Blac Chyna tried to do because I don't really see her with any girl groups. I see her more with her man. And then it was like with family. And then when she had kids, it was more like real under the radar. But it doesn't seem like she's trying to plug into whatever is cracking at the time.
Nope.
But you're in entertainment more. Do you see that?
I don't see where she even mentioning when I was at these events, and like so we were talking about it. We noticed like she acted like she didn't want to be in the spotlight. She didn't have a lot of people. She had, of course, her security and her entourage. As far as when you go up, when you're a public figure like that, you definitely have to keep people around you so people won't do stuff to you. Unfortunately, we got some sick people that if they see you, they look at that as a lick. So she had people around her, but her whole the couple of times I've been around her whole thing was it looked like she just wanted to get in, make her paper, and get out. Get in, handle her business, and get out. So I never seen that. I don't think that about her at all. Like at all. Like I know.
So it's truly a job.
Yeah, it's truly a job. That's the way it appears to be. Despite all the the things that are said about her, all the things that people, all the opinions, because none of these motherfuckers that's talking about her really know her. they just got an opinion.
It don't seem like nobody do.
Yeah, exactly.
But she keeps to herself.
To keep to herself. She's very private. Even on the Kardashian show, I didn't watch. I tuned in to some of it. I know it's a long show, so I don't know if she was really on the show like that. But when I was watching, I never seen her on a damn show. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't on that shit like that.
Even when she was with them at that period of time,
he wasn't.
It seemed like she was more
to
the side, which made him go to the side. Exactly. And then they start getting on him.
Exactly. And you see the other people's spouses, like, and my man, I love Lamar, but Lamar Odom, he was all on the show, and Kanye was on the show, and a lot of their other spouses were on the show, and a lot of the people they were dating were on the show and like really, really joined the show, but she didn't seem to take that route. She seemed like she was just like, you know what, like, this is a job. Like, I got a separate life away from this shit. I got a whole different thing that I got going on,
It seemed like Kanye put his foot down also, and he was on it either when it benefited him,
right,
or they happened to be at his house and he was walking around or something like that. But he also didn't, because he didn't need it. So he wasn't one of those people like, I need to be in front of the camera. He was very, even during COVID, he was in the house, but he wasn't on a lot. Even when whatever Chris did is what Chris did. And if they decided to go, they did. But her too, it was like, no, we can stay at home. No, I'm fine. Oh, they having that event. Oh, okay, tell them to have fun. Because they wasn't even welcoming to her anyway. And so it was like, I'm not finna go somewhere else where it feels like a job, basically, where you have to walk in on guard. She was mostly in sweats, just, chill or whatever. And that made him gravitate to her space, which is what you're supposed to do when you're with somebody. You gravitate to whatever is comfortable for your relationship. But she never stopped him from going, but he stopped wanting to go because the sisters was doing too much. They was doing too much. They just were. And if you don't make it comfortable for my partner, why would I, like he said, you don't make it comfortable. She's carrying my baby. If you don't make it comfortable for her, why would I want to come around? That's what a man is supposed to do.
Right.
Y'all can call it whatever you want, but one of the biggest voluntary vaginas
voluntary. Oh my God, I'm weak.
I was trying to think of a name. Like, because you can do whatever you want with your vagina, but it's your voluntary vagina. It's like they tried to shame her almost because she was that girl that came from nothing and I'm this. Everybody don't care about that. That boy just wanted to be happy. And y'all wasn't all in his face like that before she came around. It's like you did it to be mean. So she even fought through that, having to deal with different things like that. And to me, she's always presented herself as somebody that's pretty chill. So I feel like once she started having kids, I think that if you see an overnight change for somebody, I think that's great. But I think that the more that you have above you, you got to think that even with our OnlyFans, right, how many people it take for us to do something. That was a whole crew that she had to think about. So I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying? You can't just, Asia could wake up tomorrow and say, I don't want to do any of this. I could, and I need to think about two people, 2 and then 5. She has people. Those are families. That's livelihood. You don't get to just switch like that. So she probably tapered herself off, gave them time to find what they wanted to do, and then also got to get accustomed to not doing these certain things anymore that she probably didn't want to do to begin with.
Right.
It was just quick, easy money. So I saw her start to change then. So the people that this is a surprise to them, it's not a surprise to me.
Right.
Just even look at her Instagram. Her IG don't light up like that since she had kids. It's really calmed down. What did y'all think? Did y'all think she was going to do this shit forever?
Right. Exactly. Like she wasn't going to get older and grow up or anything. Like you got to understand people do evolve. Like evolution is real. Like people don't stay the same, and for sometimes for the best and sometimes for the worst. Like, but you expected her to be on that same shit she was on 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Like,
Yeah,
why?
because then I can keep saying I'm better than her and she'll never defend herself.
Right. Why are people mad for somebody trying to do something else? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, I don't understand it. Like, to sit up here and ridicule or throw shade or negativity at somebody that's trying to do something different. Like, what is
Crab
all
in
this?
a barrel. Crab in a barrel. You're jealous because this person did what it took to get to where they wanted. They did what they needed to do so they could do what they wanted to do.
Right.
It's just point blank period. That's the way things go.
That's the way.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've been told, well, if you biologically had a kid, you wouldn't have did this. I do more for my niece and nephew and my godkids than you do for yours sitting right there. I'm just saying. And I did it while going to school and working a second job. And I'm not coming for nobody because I don't have anybody in mind. What I'm saying is those people that said that to me, what if that was my response to you? What if my
Right.
response was, I don't do shit and you definitely don't do shit because there's somebody out there that do way more shit.
Right.
It's a single mother that literally, when we was growing up, we had to be latchkey kids because our parents had to work. Plus, they had to somehow they got us to school and back and did all of these things. Give credit to that person. Give credit to the 16-year-old that's graduating college. What I mean by that is stop comparing where it fits you when you're really putting down somebody else, when your true anger is with yourself. Your true letdown is with yourself. And it's never too late to do what you need to do. Why are you mad at your friend who could stay at home and be married and have kids because her mother put her in a position to be able to stay at home and get what she needs to get done? But you're mad because, oh, it was easy for her. Whether it was easy for her or not, like Kylie Jenner, I could put you in this position, but that don't mean you're going to do what you're supposed to with it.
Yeah.
That was all your strength. Why are you taking something from somebody? When the truth is, you just wish that that would be it for you. So take that inside of you and make that for yours. Make it for
Yeah.
somebody else. But why are you coming at somebody like that and trying some way to make them have to struggle, to have to hurt? Why? Why do you want to do that to somebody that looks like you?
It's evil.
Why?
It's evil. It's
They don't see
definitely
it as evil though.
it's definitely evil. I mean, the truth of the matter is, on that subject, like, if you're looking at somebody that, oh, you ain't got no biological kids, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. First of all, didn't nobody put a machete to your brain and tell you to lay down there and have no goddamn kids? First of fucking all, didn't nobody tell you to do that? Like, I'm a parent my goddamn self. And that's the first thing I could do is hold accountability. Like, wait, I did this. No matter what way you spin it, what I was going through, whatever the fucking case it was, I made the decision to have children in my youth. Okay? That wasn't something that somebody forced on me. So how can I sit up here and be mad at somebody that don't have children and were able to maneuver a certain what? What type of shit is that? Where that's I said it earlier. Where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? Where are you going to sit up here and say, okay, I made these decisions. The reason why my shit has to be a little bit more difficult because I made it that way. It's like choosing to go down a fucking um a road that has booby traps and a road that doesn't. Like, you show obviously you made it tough on yourself by having to take care of another life. It's already hard enough to take care of your damn self out here in California, especially. So to add that pressure to yourself by popping out all these damn kids and some of these people from different women and different men and make yourself, didn't nobody tell you to have kids by 3 different men? Didn't nobody tell you to do that? And I'm not judging you for it, but I'm just telling you, like, you
No,
decision to do it. So don't
no,
sit here and complain about some shit that you had super control over. You had power over the situation. Like, period. Like, you had
because how
power
dare I?
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit. I really don't like that shit. Like, you got to really, really take accountability for what decisions you
Mhm.
made and the things that you allowed and what you did. And stop looking at other people trying to shame and throw darts and throw daggers and shit. Like, stop all that. If you take all
It's
that
not
energy
fair.
and put it in yourself, then you're gonna realize you could ascend, you could get places. But if you want to sit up here and have that negative energy and throw darts and do all that shit, you're gonna be sitting in that same fucking position at 73 years old, thinking about all the shit you wish you could have done.
So now I get, this is why it's so hard to become. Now I get, well, you wouldn't understand. You don't have to worry about finances. As long as I go to work, I got to worry about finances. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, so I can just quit my job and stay at home.
My nephew stuff, my mama's. What? Where does it even come from? And I just don't understand. And the reason why I'm so adamant on bringing these things up, because this is another place where people like us suffer, because it's called like a survival remorse, because you survived this particular thing. And I always say, did I make better decisions? I now say, yes, I did, because I did. Before I would be like, I didn't do anything any different. You know, it could have been me dumbing myself down. I'm not saying that anymore, because I am the one who is now sitting here again, racing for a damn clock, because I had to choose. I chose my heart. You chose your heart. My heart is, now I'm in a place where I'm like, I would love to have kids right now, but I have to wait until I get pregnant. That's just the reality. You did it then. And then on that side is, oh, I couldn't wait to have kids this late. But then if I said something like, but you should have, because that's why you've been complaining. You didn't make it look fun. You've been complaining the last X amount of years. Time. Yeah, I want to enjoy it. I wanted to enjoy it. There has only been one other time I have intentionally tried to get pregnant. And one time, one person. It was the same person. It was Marcus. It was the same person. And I didn't. And I was like, look, okay, God, I know this ain't right. But if it don't happen right here, then I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to finish another degree. And I did just that. That's how I rationalize things in my head. That's how I talk to God, which is why I say in some of our dumb decisions, they're not Christian, but you're still, God said you can meet him where you are. And that's what I did in my life. And now I'm in a position where I have to fully lean on him and trust that I am going to have a baby. If I don't, I have asked for the ability in becoming myself to paint my picture where it doesn't include kids and it doesn't hurt me. But either way, in some regard, because we are Black, because we don't take the time to sacrifice and become that generation that creates that generational wealth, because we don't pass things on, because we don't make it easier for somebody, because you're doing all of these things. It's not fair. I should have not had to dummy myself down, because I've not talked about anybody and the amount of kids that they had, because I didn't care. I loved whomever the kids were. And if I didn't fuck with you like that, I'd just be like, that's hard. I couldn't do it. I think you're an amazing mom. I done babysat kids my whole damn life. Right. Even if you need something, I got you. So why then was my punishment to have to dummy myself down? That's why I didn't know who I was. I have dummied myself down in every area. And it makes no sense, because on the other end of the spectrum, and I'll close with this because of the topic that we're getting into next month, next week, same person, but body. I was also always the plus size one. I was out of the group. I was the dark one. I was the one out of the group that didn't have a mom and two parents income in the household. I was the one that I didn't have grandparents. I didn't have a TT. I didn't have a big sister. I didn't have shit. I technically am the everything. And I also had to dummy myself down.
Damn.
Do you understand what it's like to try to beat yourself?
Damn.
And then when you finally make it and all you're thinking is, I just want to make life better for everybody else. Now you still got to dummy yourself down because you made it, so-called made it, because I make it very clear that I haven't. Then I have to feel bad about that too.
No, damn.
It's not easy for people to be themselves.
No, it's not.
It's not. Not if you want to be happy.
Right.
It's not.
That's
And
right.
so this for me, for her doing that, I felt like that opened the door for more women to be who they are. Because look at what she did, Roman. She got a degree. What do people say? That piece of paper is nothing. She got baptized. What do people say? Oh, Christianity ain't this. Oh, it ain't that. Hmm. Everything that we downplay, but also the things that we secretly want in our hearts and the things that should be the most valuable because we want them not only for our children, but for ourselves today. We have a life.
Right.
You're going to put that to the side, though. You don't get to be yourself.
You don't get to be yourself. You don't.
If you do, you're going to lose. At this season in my life, I'd rather lose because it can't be no worse than me being me on the outside and for so many years not getting to be me. It's not fair.
That shit's deep. Like, damn.
It is. Black women are struggling. It's very hard. It is very hard. So what I would say in closing is that if you are struggling to become yourself, separate. Turn off the social media if you need to. Whatever it is that is hurting you, get rid of that thing. Um, and what I mean by hurting you is that thing that's hurting you that probably won't get better. That thing that doesn't care to get better. But what I'll also say is those things that you are willing to fight for, no matter what anybody else says, fight for them because you are owed that. You are absolutely owed that. And that's called being true to yourself, right? Those things are worth it. We fight for things that don't make sense. So definitely fight for the things that do. I'll say to the mother that your identity is your children, your identity is you.
Right.
And you deserve to live because your kids deserve to to have the life that you want them to have. They're your children. They're not your property. That's not your husband. That's not your daughter that owes you. That goes back to our African heritage. The person that makes it out is not responsible for everybody else. You don't have to be with somebody else and have a career that's going to cover the family.
Facts.
Okay. I had a sister that graduated, and I think the man was 75 or 80 that was also graduating at the same time. So everybody's accountable for themselves. You have the right to be yourself. To the Black man, I see you too. My prayer for you is that you speak up and say the things that I feel like you're gonna piss people off anyway. So just say what you need to say because you have a right to address the women that have hurt you. You have that right. And if you are with a woman who can't receive what you are saying, be it your mother, whomever it is, unfortunately, that's your trigger and that's who you have to let go of. But life is too short. We just saw a whole world shut down. So you get to live your life. You get to do whatever it is for you. So that's what I will say in my closing because I want us to be happy and be healthy and be whole because we are too dynamic not to be. That's what I'll say.
100. 100 for sure.
So
100.
what's your closing?
I mean, I think just listening to this for the last, couple minutes, again, I can't stress accountability. Seeing you and how you feel in your path, and being a father of two daughters. You know what I'm saying? It definitely hits a nerve. You know what I mean? Like, what can we do for the next generation? Sometimes a lot of what we're fighting for and what we're doing, we might not see the benefit of it. We might not see the benefit of it, and we can't let that be our concern. We're fighting
Yeah.
for the next generation. So that's what our ancestors did. That's what they literally did. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Harriet Tubman cleared the path. She probably knew that they weren't going to have great lives after they did that. But she said, you know what? The next generation, I do this right now, they ain't going to have to worry about this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I think our ancestors were showing us the blueprint of how to be selfless and to do things
Yes.
for the next generation. That's what we have to do. I might not be able to see the benefits of a lot of things that I'm fighting for. But my children, or if they ever to build not only my children, but the children of the next generation, if they're able to benefit from it, I'm completely happy and satisfied. So I think, accountability, let's look at ourselves, Black men, Black women, and try to fight for this next generation so they could just be a little bit better than us.
I think that's amazing. I think that's the best advice ever, being selfless, because that is so hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's
But
hard.
I'm with you. If they could do that, we don't have no excuse. And that's one of the things that keep me going, like, dang, how did you do that? How did you not black the fuck out and just go? Like, how did you do that? Knowing that you was doing it for tomorrow.
Right.
And
Right.
things move so fast now for us that we will get to see some of it. They didn't even get to see
None of it.
none of it.
They didn't see none of it. Literally, that a lot of them died while they literally. That's what pisses me off a little bit. That they died while trying to do these things. These people put their lives on the line. Like, I know people this outside of Malcolm and Martin and Harriet, and you start thinking about Fred Hampton and all these other people. Like, these guys literally put their own lives on the line for the betterment of their people going forward. If that isn't the most selfless thing ever, and if we adapt that mentality as a whole, as the melanated people, if we adapt that, come on, man. Like,
That's where our chains are.
that's what it exactly. Right
That's where
there.
our chains are.
That part.
If those come off,
It's a wrap. Come on.
listen,
We got
we're actually going to do spirit, and we'll actually talk about that for the spirit week, because that's an episode that deserves its own, because I need people to really understand, because like you said, is no joke, and I don't see how people don't connect the two, but sometimes you don't, so we're going to help you do that. So make sure you join us next week, because we'll be talking about the body and going into that space, not in the sense that you think. Of course, we're going to be digging deep, because we're trying to change things with this platform and get us to think about things we do in our everyday life. Make sure that you follow the famous homie on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and that's all of it.
Snap, LinkedIn. I'm on everything. Everything moving.
Man, I can't snap to save my life. Got 32,000 things and I can't figure it out. Okay. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and follow. And the next show will actually be a recording tomorrow. So I am not going live tomorrow. It'll be a recording where you'll get to see what I do when I wake up, when I'm in the office talking shit, and then how I end my day before I go out. So I'll be doing that. We have an event coming up in June in Vegas. I don't think the date has been released yet. We know it, but have your calendar open, because it's about to go down. The big girl panel is about to go down. It's about to go down, and I cannot wait. I did like 3 sit-ups yesterday, so I could be ready. No, I'm not even dancing. I'm not, but that's what we do. So, Ramon, do you have a closing that you want to do? Yeah, you close us out.
Yeah. So, everybody looking again, I'm gonna stress this again. Look at yourself in the mirror. Make sure you washing your ass every day, first of all, so you can look at yourself in the mirror and think about what your contribution can be for the advancement of our kids, our next generation. Like, everybody, please think about that and do that. Get out of that crab in the barrel mentality. There is enough for everybody. There is enough out there. Just know that. We don't got to be greedy. We don't got to snake each other. We don't got to stab each other. We ain't got to put each other down. And Black men and Black women, for the sake of God, let's stop battling each other. We are not enemies, okay? We're on the same side. All right, let's realize we are on the same team. Black men, let's stop referring to all Black women as bitches and hoes. Black women, let's always stop calling every nigga sorry and ain't shit. Like let's stop doing that. If we don't stop doing that, we gonna kill our race before anybody else do.
Okay. That's it. We'll see you next week. Like, follow, subscribe, everything, all of those. Make sure you share too. Make sure you share your favorite part. You can pull out a snippet, boop, share it. See you next week.
Yes, peace, y'all.